Excuse me. D-Roy Cruz here again. I want to say real quickly, I hate to go there, but last night I was at work and we had an Italian group come into town for a wedding. And one of my superiors was going on and on and on about, oh, this Italian group, we got a black wedding going on, and we got an Italian wedding going on, and I'm like, okay. First of all, the black wedding had white people, and most um, black people see Italians as just white people. Okay. And Italians have come a long way since since they began here back in the day, since the Italian mobs and all like that. My uncle died back in, I think 2016 or earlier. He, he died at 80 some years old. He was, he watched Italians in here in Pittsburgh go from being gangster and violent and drug traffickers to just becoming what some black people would call average white people. Today they just call them white people. Back in the day, they knew the Italians from white people because white people were afraid of the Italians. White people didn't want to have nothing to do with them. White people treated Italians like they treat black people, like, just looking for a reason to arrest them because of all their gang activity and stuff like that. But I know we've come a long way since then. Okay, I know we've come a long way since then. And last night, my superior, he was going on and on and on. And I told him like this. I said, you can't always say that. You don't know that, because he says, I know. He says, we'll be lucky, if we go through the whole shift and there ain't a fight up there. And he's like, oh, well, you got a black wedding and an Italian wedding right next to each other. And I'm thinking, why would they bother each other? The blacks are over there doing their things and Italians over here doing their thing. What's the problem? And he's like, all them Italians have to do is say something to one of them black women. I ain't never seen an Italian. I've seen a white person. Now, this is where I believe Italians are different than white people. I've seen a white person just randomly say something he shouldn't say to a black person. But Italians don't want to have nothing to do with you unless you get in their way. Now, and then they're using the bathroom together. Okay, yeah. Black men are going to be on their best behavior in the bathrooms, surrounded by Italians and vice versa. An Italian dude surrounded by blacks in that bathroom he's going to be extra cautious. I know I would. Okay. But nothing happened. There was no, he said the Italians got rowdy because they party. They party when they have weddings, because the rest of the time, Italians are very religious. So when they party hardy, okay? Because they're very religious. They're very Catholic and very, very, religious the rest of the time. They're like their neighbors, the Romans and the Jews. They're very religious the rest of the time, But to me, a guy that's conservative and all like that, and I try to see the good in black people and all like that. Oh, well, you always one of these Italian dudes got to do is say something crazy to one of these black women. I'm thinking, why would this Italian dude with all them beautiful Italian women floating around want to just randomly say something off the wall to some black woman? Okay? You know what I'm saying? These Italian women are showing more skin, okay? And, wearing more extravagant clothing than these black women are. Black women were all dressed in black. But these Italian women were dressed in pink and white and all that kind of stuff. So which one is more sexually attractive? Okay, I'd go with the pink and the white. Okay, and I'm not trying to say anything again. I think black women are extremely sexually, especially sexually, very appealing. Okay, but I'm just saying that there was no reason for him to think that. Now, he'd been working there for 20, 30 years, okay? And I'm just what? I'm hitting on 3, okay? I understand what he's saying because he's seen it happen in the past. But I told him like this. I says, well, I'm believing and trusting God because I pray every day. Prayer is a currency, just like getting up in the morning and going to work. You don't know what's going to happen. When you pray to God, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what God is up to. All you do is just run with it, okay? But this is my thing, First of all, racism, yes. The whole slavery thing caused it. The whole slavery thing caused it. Let me see if I can go back and look at my history here, because I think it was on this channel that I saw the Candace Owens video. I want you to hear this. Candace Owens said something very, very, very good, and this is why I'm doing this video. So I'll just let you listen and hear what she said. His study. Hopefully it's on this channel. Please, Lord, let it be on this channel. I think it was on this channel. Already it looks like it wasn't, because I know it was just a couple. Well, then again, yeah. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, no. It wasn't this channel. All right, let me switch channels. It wasn't this channel. I want you to hear this. Let me go back here. Probably because I listened to it on my phone. So it wasn't this channel. Let me go back to my regular channel. And see my history. It should be right there. Where is it? Yeah, I was here. Yeah, that was a quick flip over. I believe it's on this channel. Where is it? Yeah, I was doing the Jason Aldean thing. Where is it? Oh, I see. I gotta do this. You could have did that on the other channel. Oh man, I didn't realize I could have done that. Where is it? Where are you? Come on, Candace. Where are you? It's got to be on this channel. Please let it be on this channel. There it is. Listen to this.
What you're seeing happening today, obviously we have some black people that are just shouting in the back. We have some black people that are sitting in the front quietly that are chanting USA and having a normal conversation. You're going to hear it in this room first. Okay. There's an ideological civil war happening. Black people that are focused on their past and shouting about slavery, and black people that are focused on their futures, okay? I can guarantee you what you're seeing happening is victim mentality versus victor mentality. I promise you. I can tell you right now who is going to be better off. When we look 20 years and we look at the faces in this room, who is going to be better off are the girls that are sitting right here and across this room, because they don't have your mentality. Victim mentality is not cool. Nope. I don't know why people like being oppressed. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I love oppression. We're oppressed. 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow, which, by the way, none of you guys lived through. Your grandparents didn't. It's embarrassing. You utilize their history and you come in here with more emotion than they ever had when they were living through it. More emotion than they ever had when they were living through it. It's embarrassing. You're not living through anything right now. You're overly privileged Americans. It's what's going on right now. What you're seeing happening today, obviously we have some black people that are just shouting.
And that's true. That's true. I don't know if you heard that clearly, but what she's saying is that there's people who came up to the front to hear Candace Owens because they know She's going to drop the bomb on stuff that actually helps, that actually gets, that actually makes you smile and get over things. Where there's people in the back that they know to keep their distance because for two reasons. Number one, they don't want to run up on the stage and hit Candace Owens, and they know they better not try it. And number two, they're afraid of her spirit because she has the spirit of a free woman, a free black woman that has beat them. It beat all of us at overcoming the whole slave mentality, and it is a mentality because, like she said right here, and I gotta go back in time to get my brain rolling because my brain freezes. It's chronic nerve damage, but she is why I'm making this video. Like she said, like you're all overprivileged people sitting here. Like there's nothing that you can't do in America today there's nothing that you can't do in America today, okay, that you couldn't do. Yeah, there's nothing that you couldn't do in America today that you couldn't do back then. You can do it all. Top billionaires in America are black. Okay? And that's crazy because the top crime in America is black. Okay? And once you get that in your thick skull, once you get two things in your thick skull, number one, that black people are guilty. We are guilty. We have a bad reputation that we have given ourselves. Okay? And it's all over the world. You can go to any nation that is non-white and ask them what their problem is. Ask African women or African men, what's the problem with black folks? They'll tell you stuff that you cannot deny. You ask Asian people what their problem is with black folks. They'll tell you things that you cannot deny. You can only get angry. You can't deny it. And maybe it's not you, but it's your cousin. It's your brother that's in prison. Or it's some people that you know in the ghetto that you escaped because you was tired of getting, you was tired of dodging bullets, or you was tired of hearing about your neighbor's, house being invaded right next door to you. You knew you was next. Sometime or another, you're going to be next. Okay? And I'm not saying that it's set in us to do these things. No. What's set in us is what Candace Owens is preaching right here. We keep worshiping oppression. Who wants to get up every day and say, I'm oppressed, when the rest of all the brown-skinned people that migrate here, they don't even know how to get from one corner to the other. They got stopping as a black man how to get to 22nd Avenue. Look, when 22nd Avenue is right around the corner and they've been living in it. Look. What I'm saying is, what she is saying is that how do you get up every day and oppress yourself when you living like brown-skinned white people up in here? Oh, well, I'm tired of living like a brown-skinned white person. Okay. What you gonna do? You gonna live like an Asian woman or an Asian man? They living like white folks too. You gonna live like an Indian man or Indian woman? They living like white folks till they start doing terrorist stuff. Okay? You cannot escape it. We have a vibe here in America that works for all of us. It's called don't hate white people. Stop hating on white people. That's the vibe. I'm on to it. Is I can be around as many racist people in one day and still hold on to the vibe. The vibe is to protect the soil that you are standing on, and that is white people. It is. It's white people. All the major companies have been designed by white people. Now you got black people running those companies now, but they were designed by white people. You got blacks and Indians running these companies, but they were designed by white people. All you got to do is go to India and see who's designing stuff over there. It ain't Indian people. Go to Saudi Arabia. Go anywhere in the world. Why do you think when there's a terrorist attack or something, there's always white hostages? Or the proper term would be American hostages. There ain't no blacks over there. They got to be white. You know that. What, one black out of a million? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, people. Okay? There's white people everywhere. There's white people in Africa. Why? Because they building stuff. They making Africa, they're building stuff. You remember not too long ago, just a couple years ago or a little bit over that, right before COVID. Or it might have been during COVID, I forget. But remember what they were doing in Africa to the white farmers? You know? Well, hold up. You never taught your people how to farm. You want us to believe that, you want me to walk into Africa and look at all this bush. Even the top cities in Africa are third world compared to what white people and Asian people have tried to do with Africa. But Africa's got to produce their own funds. Ain't nobody going to turn their place into a third world nation to make yours non-third world. I mean, it doesn't work that way. You got to create funds in order for people to help you. But I agree with Candace, though. Like, how do you get up every day and want to be oppressed and depressed? See, me, I'm oppressed of the devil. I don't blame the white man. I'm oppressed of the devil. Everything that I go through, the problems I'm having with love and people being respectful and people caring about me and people, respecting me on the job. And, if it ain't my fault, it's the devil's fault. Because there is a literal devil. And I've said this in a couple other videos. Black people are oppressed by the actual devil. It's not the white devil. There's no such thing. Show me a white devil in the Bible. It's all the races in the Bible were oppressed by the same devil. Whether they are what we know today commonly as white people, or whether they known, as what we know today as, Puerto Ricans or Mexicans or whatever, or blacks or African Americans or Africans or Jamaicans or, Indians or Arabs or whatever. Everybody is oppressed of the same devil. And the devil uses different tactics to separate us and to make us think that we're different when we're all being blessed by the same God and oppressed by the same devil. There is no distinction. The only distinction is some of us handle it better. White people handle it better than black people do. White people handle it better than most races do. That's why everybody hates white people. The reason why everybody hates white people is because white people continue to be better. Even today, when all the big historical giants of the white race, have died and gone, and white people don't do it like they used to. I mean, we talk about, in back during slavery, yes. Black people did great things. And so you got to think about that. Like, while slavery was going on, black people did great things. And this is the dumb thing about slavery. Back in the day, slavery was employment. Just like today, we go to our jobs. I'm getting ready to have a meeting at my job where they're getting ready to make us work an extra half an hour, and they're getting ready to force us to take a lunch when we're the security team. They're getting ready to make us take a lunch and stay an extra half an hour to work. They're getting ready to force this upon us when we're not in the union, first of all. And second of all, this is just being thrown on us from some policies from the top. This is slavery to me. Why am I being made to take a half an hour? Sure, we eat while we're on the job because they offer us food, but we don't get a half an hour break. We might be down there for 10 minutes, and if everything is going good, we might be down there for 30. But at the most time, I've never, since I've worked here, taken a 30-minute break. Now you're telling me that I have to come in there, and when I go on a lunch break, I have to count. And I believe this is a deception, because every time you don't punch in on time, you're going to get docked. And ain't nobody going to remember, you're down there eating and talking, or maybe you're not an eater. You're out walking around the perimeter or whatever, and playing games on your phone or talking to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, whatever. Okay. And you're not going to keep up with that 30 minutes. And they're starting with the security department, which is not in the union. And I think this is illegal, but they're doing it. And this is slavery. How do you just force me to work an extra half an hour a day and force me to take a lunch that I'm not worried about? Okay? And it's like my options are going to be either do it or leave. I told him I'm already leaving. Okay? Because this is not a career. This is a job. I'm doing a job. This is not a career. There's nothing I built in here. This is all their establishment. And they're running us like slaves. Okay? I got a boss that tells me if I see something wrong that somebody else done, instead of going to their department and saying, hey, you have an issue up here on the such and such floor, it's a safety hazard, you might want to send somebody up to clean this up or whatever, he's going to say, oh no, just clean it up. And all the times I cleaned it up, I don't get to be the OSC winner. You only get to be the winner if your manager says something to the top complimenting you for one thing that you did, or somebody from the top caught something that you did, and they go to your manager and ask you about you, and your manager, could clean his own slate because of things in the past, will say, yeah, make him a winner, Very whitely done. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Giving people, winnings and awards that do what? To make them think they work somewhere. To make them think their money is worth it. To make them think their hard labor is worth it. It's slavery to me. And the real slavery is the stuff that you do every day that ain't got nothing to do with white people. You know what real slavery is? That neighborhood you live in, where you got to drive all the way out of the area to get to a Walmart. That's slavery. When other people in other neighborhoods, Walmart's right down the street because they live in such a great neighborhood. Slavery slavery is when they charge more for health food that ain't got no taste. Okay? Ain't got no sugar, no salt, just broccoli. You're going to charge more for broccoli that's just 100% broccoli than you will charge for modified broccoli, which will cost you more to make that bag of modified broccoli than it does broccoli right out of the produce section. You know what I'm saying? What I say you're going to charge more, you're going to charge less for that modified broccoli than the broccoli that's in the produce section. As people start to say, you know what, I need to eat healthier. Now what they're doing is they're charging you more for apples and oranges. They're charging you more for broccoli and greens and all that stuff because 95% of any supermarket is modified food. And then you have the actual dairy section that is 100% dairy. You have the actual produce section, which is 100 vegetables and real fruit. Okay? But everything else is modified. You go to Walmart, this little tiny section right here is all natural. Okay? You might be able to go in the vitamin section and find some organic vitamins and all like that. But all in all, to the most part, this little section on my left, in my Walmart, this little corner, it must be about 20 feet of space there, is where all the natural foods are. In 20 feet of space, about 20 to 10 feet. 20 long and 10 feet wide. Is this little space with good food. The rest of the supermarket is all modified. Till you get to the meat section, yeah, that might be grass. You might find some grass-fed hamburger meat. You might find some, in the dairy section, you might find some organic butter, organic milk. Yeah, okay, that's fine. But still, that's like, okay, here's the good section. Then you go around the back and you go up this little strip, and that's it. All this here is modified. Anything in a box is modified. Anything in a can is modified. If you can't just grab it and put it in a bag and have to reclean it when you get home, it's probably modified, right? Okay. I mean, are mashed potatoes made out of real potatoes? I know I like Idaho. That's the bomb. I like Idaho. Those my mashed potatoes. Whether they real or not, I love those. But if I was to invite people over for Thanksgiving, it'd be Idaho. Yeah, I'd make some Idaho mashed potato. I'd have about like 3-4 boxes, 3-4 family-sized boxes of Idaho. Those are my potatoes. But I like those better than Hungry Jack. But because they taste like real potatoes, even though I know they're modified. They taste like, I mean, and they cook and they actually have, I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe box potatoes have like, dry scraped shaving. I mean, if you really know how to scrape a potato, it will. And even the Idaho potatoes, somehow they got like these little bits in it that look like potato skin in them, So I don't know. If you shave a potato like you shave your hair, if you shave it with like a clipper or something, a clipper grinder or something, they're going to dry real fast because they're so thin and so. So I don't know, maybe Idaho potatoes, with a shot of MSG, okay, are real potatoes, along with other things to keep them in the box and they never spoil. Keep a real potato in the refrigerator and it'll spoil, let alone outside the refrigerator, I don't know, tell me something. But my point is that we are dumb about what is and what is not. We are slaves to the system. And the system is not just white people. And the system does not just affect black people. It affects white people. It affects every immigrant that has ever come to this country. Everybody. Asia. You know what I'm saying? When Asians come over here and they open up a Chinese restaurant, most of them are serving you modified food because I've seen them. They go to the Chinese section at Walmart or Giant Eagle and they take all the Chinese stuff. They take the noodles, they take, and everything's in styrofoam. in a box or in a can. That's modified. Now, they might go and get the vegetables from the produce section, but a lot of them vegetables are modified. And you're going to go to the restaurant and you're going to pay big money for modified food. Okay? I watch my Chinese neighbors when I lived, 20 minutes away from here in Westmoreland County. Well, 25 now. 25, 30 actually. Actually 30 to 35. 30 to 35, because I'm not just living in Pittsburgh anymore. I'm on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. I got to get to downtown, cross downtown and get on 28. Then get on, and then take that long ride. You're not in the clear to even take the long ride till you go through the Pittsburgh BS. Then you can get on 28 and take the nice little country ride into Westmoreland County. But, I watch my Chinese neighbors buy modified food. I watch them go to Walmart up there, where I live, and I stand there and watch them. How y'all doing? I'm watching what they're buying, because I eat there enough, I'm watching what they're buying. And they pile all that modified stuff into their cart. I'll take this teriyaki. I'll take this rice in a styrofoam bowl. Prepared rice, minute rice, Chinese style, in a Chinese section. Costs you more than just like regular Hungry Jack or whatever, minute rice or whatever. It costs you more because it's labeled Asian. So it's costing you more, but it's still modified. Anyway, let me get off of that. The point is, we live in a society that oppresses us by a system. And if it is a white thing only, sure, white people, just like white people run our companies and all like that. But wait, is it really about the rich and the poor, or is it about black and white? Because where I'm sitting and where I'm laying and where I'm blowing my nose and where I'm working and where I'm driving and where I'm going to Walmart, okay, Giant Eagle, okay, where I'm traveling, where I'm buying my tires and get my brakes at, and you name it, I'm seeing white people go through the same things. They're shopping at the same tire place that I go to get my tires. They're shopping at the same brake place. They're shopping at the same Walmart. You know what I'm saying? We got rich white people shopping at Walmart. Oh, I love Walmart. I get these wealthy white people in my Uber, and I love Walmart. You gotta admit, you gotta love Walmart. Yes and no. But I found out that, and I learned this a long time ago when I was married, that if you got a car, shop everywhere. Don't just shop in one place. If you want a name brand item, go somewhere where they sell that name brand item and get it at cost. If you want, and anytime you can get a deal on a name brand item, that's good. But don't sit there and just say, oh, well, I'll take whatever Walmart's selling because it's cheaper. No, you buy the stuff that ain't got nothing to do with your personal cooking. Your personal cooking that you're going to feed to somebody else's mouth. You go on and say, I'll try the generic brand. And then you go over here to Giant Eagle and get the, and I found out I've been going back to Shop and Save lately. And Shop and Save sells a lot of name brand stuff cheaper than Giant Eagle. Okay? And it's the same stuff you get at Giant Eagle. And it's cheaper. Okay? Also, I had to go down to the ghetto, one of the Pittsburgh ghettos to get it, but I went to Save-A-Lot. And I went down there and I found these black folks are blessed because I went down there and walked out of there with some stuff that's still in my refrigerator that is way past its, beauty, way past its pricing. It's worth the price is what I'm saying. It's matter of fact, if you go to Giant Eagle and get something name brand, it's just as good. It's not going to be much better. It might be just as good. It's going to cost you way more. But I went to Save-A-Lot, and there's a reason to go down to the ghetto sometime. I went in the daylight hours while all the creeps were still waking up from last night's robbery. But the oppression that you go through is not a white thing. Because if it was a white thing, there wouldn't be no white folks going through it. There's just as many white folks that are going through it. There's white folks that are living in ghettos, especially today. White folks that are living in ghettos. White folks that are living in subsidized housing. White folks that are living in rundown neighborhoods. White folks that are shopping at Save-A-Lot. Okay, and Aldi's. Okay? Because they can't afford, just like your black butt can't afford, they can't afford to spend money on all this. Okay. All right. And, I work around white people who, try to come in there and they try to act like they're overqualified for the job. But yet they don't have what it takes to get the job that they want. And I'm looking at this brother and this white brother, and I'm thinking, you need to quit playing around and just call yourself a nigger. Okay? Because you going through the same struggle I'm going through. You at a job where you think you overqualified, but yet you don't know how. You got college. You got a college degree. Is this one of the white people that the white people decided to just sacrifice? Like, what's going on? Here's a white man that has plenty of college, military. Okay? He thinks he's smarter than everybody, but yet he doesn't know how to pick himself up, as we say, by his bootstraps. Like a lot of black people I know, he don't know how to pick himself up from his bootstraps and move on, or bootstraps, I should say, move on and do something better with himself. He cannot afford to do one single thing out of his super duper tight budget. I have a better budget than him. Okay? I buy people stuff. They ask for something, I say, well, it's in my part of town. I'll pick it up for you. I'll pay you money. Don't worry about it. I have Amway products still around here. When I did Amway, I would buy people stuff. I'm trying to start a business. It's costing me to buy my own stuff. And here I'm buying them stuff because, I guess because I'm an American. I don't really get on to the, hold on, we black. We can't do that. Well, I'm an American. I'm an American first. I'm a black man second. Where is this black country? It ain't Africa. I don't know. I don't know a single relative. If I got relatives in Africa, they didn't abandon me again. They'd abandoned us the first time. That's how we got sent over here on slave ships, okay? Now, if there's black people related to me in Africa, which I highly doubt if there is, because I don't think we're African to begin with. I think we just passed through Africa. That's how we got taken as slaves in the first place. But if I got any black folks African folks that are related to me in Africa, they sacrificed me again. They abandoned me and sent me to slavery all over again. But being we don't know each other, is it necessary to worry about it? Is it necessary to go and dig and accuse somebody of being related to me? America, black folks, is all you got. These white people are all you got. English is the only language you speak. Even white people have other languages. They can go to Russia, they can go to Europe, and they can speak other languages, They can understand German, they can understand, you know what I'm saying? They can understand, Slavic, they can understand Hungarian language and all like that. Polish, Poland. Okay? A lot of white people are related to Italians. They know Italian because the bigger part of the family is Italian. Even though I don't consider Italians white people. They're just as melanated and just as third world as any other brown skin nation out there, okay? But the thing is, you cannot leave your post, black people. You can't leave your post. You can't hate on white people. You can't do that. That's one thing I will never do. Two things that I will never hate is number one, white people, and number two, Jews. I don't mess with them. I don't hate them. I treat them with respect. I treat the Jews as the grandfathers of how we've begun to understand God. I treat white people as the grandfathers of how we became a nation, how I am able to call myself an American. And you want to piss a white man off, you want to really know whether he's, and I'm closing with this, you want to piss a white man off, you want to see if he's got some racial entities, going on in his body or his brain or whatever, in his heart or whatever. Get yourself in that conversation where you look him in the face and say, I'm an American. And I've had some of the most sweetest people I thought they were laugh in my face when I said, they said, oh, you listening to this, you listening to that. And I said, I'm an American, bro. Because I wasn't listening to rap music. They said, oh, you listening to Rascal Flatts. I said, man, I'm an American. I listen to American music. He looked at me and snickered and laughed like, you're funny. What do you mean I'm funny? I'm not an American? And you're going to find white people like that. Now, the gay dude walked up to my window at work. He said, are you listening to Rascal Flatts? And I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm not saying that, I like Rascal Flatts. I said, yeah, I do too. Certain songs, not the whole album, but, certain songs. I like a little bit of country music. I like a little bit of Southern music. You know what I'm saying? My mom raised me on Southern music, Southern gospel, and, gospel. And, my mom raised me on a lot of, I told myself, I'm not going to say white music. I'm going to say American music. She didn't raise me on, a whole lot of choir singing and jumping and shouting music, Pentecostal, Baptist, Black Baptist music, and all like that. And he says, man. And so, he didn't think it was funny. He thought it was something to think about. Okay. The gay dude made the white dude look like a racist, and then somebody walked in, they got mad at me because the gay dude was hanging out at the window. He's hanging out at the window. He's not offering me a blowjob. Calm down, bro. He's an American. The gay dude's a freaking American. Do I appreciate that he's gay? No, that's one thing where we agree to disagree. But he's a nice dude. He does his job. He does, and there's people at my job that they think that their black behind is better than everybody that works there. And I had to ask them, who's better than you? Is there anybody here that you look up to that's better than you? I look up to a lot of people that are better than me, bro. White and black. But you just think everybody. You talk about everybody like a dog. Is that part of the black caucus? Is that part of the black oppression for black folks to talk about everybody black as well as everybody white like a dog? And if you think you ain't going to talk about a young, illegitimate, juvenile thug black kid like a dog, something wrong with you. Stop. That's another thing black people got to do that would help them. Don't be afraid to criticize those that ain't like you. If you're being a good black man, see, white people, when white people screw up, they call that white trash. But when black people screw up, we say, oh, they're just kids. Quit being so hard on them. George Floyd, he was a good man. He was a good man if the devil is a good man. He was a good man, okay, if Ted Bundy was a good man. Okay, he was a good man if Hitler was a good man. What the heck are you talking about? Black people are afraid to admit when other black... Why don't you just admit half the population of us are wrong? We're criminals, we're thugs. Why don't you just admit that those people in jail, maybe some of them, their sentences are too big, but nevertheless, they did do crimes that landed them in jail. Now, what we are in the process of, and Donald Trump, y'all hate Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is one of the people that are having people go into the jail system and putting sentences where they belong. Some people in jail, not just black people, but many races in jail, are in there for longer sentences than what they need to be. But you were either a accessory to the crime or you were the crime, part of the crime. You did something wrong, okay, that you ended up in jail. You shouldn't have ran. You shouldn't have refused to snitch, okay, because you were there. You got picked up with the bad guys. Why were you there, my brother? Why were you there? Okay? You shouldn't have been there. When the cops come around, they say, I'm thinking, you can't talk to me. And I'm in a suit. Okay, I'm going back inside. Because the last thing I want to do is for you to make what this fool, doing a 5-man car crash because he's drunk and on weed, okay? You gonna put me in jail when I'm working the clock. I'm going back inside. But a lot of black people would have gave that white man a piece of his mind. I know. And I should have. But that day is coming. All white people that are full of hate and race, they will, face their day of reckoning. They will. They will have their day of reckoning. And it's not going to be because, black folks are going to go and win the next civil war. It's not going to be because the Arabs are going to come and practice an act of terrorism and they're going to get Black Lives Matter in on it. And we're just going to, DEFCON on all white people and win. You ain't going to win. You're going to get shot. There's going to be less of us than there is of them. And I'm going to be sitting in the house. It'll be the first time I smoke some weed in a long time. It'll be the first time I smoked a cigar. I'm going to be in the house with my shotgun, sitting by the door, smoking a blunt, smoking a cigar. Get them, white folks. Hopefully this will be the last civil war. Get them, white folks. Just don't get me. Get them. because they stupid. Freedom of speech. Just like I said, if Jason Aldean was thinking about black folks when he was thinking of try that on a small town. Now, he wants to say you cannot think about crime without thinking about black folks. This is why everybody's upset. Because who you talking about? You talking about white folks? One white dude out of 50? When you say try that in a small town, the truth is, Jason Aldean can look at a lot of white people today because of politics today are just outrageously stupid. White people are becoming stupid. Okay, white people trying to get out there, and their way of trying to kick it with black people and show that they're not racist is by doing crime along with white people, or along with black people, or mimicking the crimes that black folks do. And then say, oh, my brother. Don't come over me. You ain't my brother. You just attacked an old lady. How'd he say it in the song? Hijack an old lady in the middle of traffic. If a white man do something like that, don't get in my face. Okay? And act like we all Trump supporters, because we ain't. Okay? Get out of my face with that. Get out of my face. I'll shoot you as fast as I shoot a black person. You do some crap like that, I will make a citizen's arrest. Okay? You know, it just baffles me how we, like Candace said, why does people love to be oppressed and depressed? Who wants to live their life like that? And there's nothing you can do about it but one thing. Stop hating on white people. Stop hating on Jews. Because see, the Bible promised that you would be punished for hating on Jews. But that kind of applies to Americans too, which in the beginning were white people or people of European descent. So, you know, because where did white people get Christianity from? They didn't get it from America. They brought it over here with them. Some black folks think that that Christianity and the Bible was made right here in the United States. There is nothing anti-Semitic about the Bible. It all came from third world, outside this country. Okay. You know. The Bible is a book that covers the desert and the mountains. Not these little cute little places we got here in America, but the places that Americans travel to, walk right past a terrace. They want to get there so much, if you know what I'm saying. Okay? The mountains, those deserts. And I ain't talking about the Mexican desert. I'm talking about the desert. The desert where John the Baptist walked. The desert, okay, that Abraham walked. Which was more scarier back then than it is today. Because you didn't see houses or nothing for miles. And when you got to a house, it was way out there. Just imagine that. But I'm just saying, the Bible is not American. It's Christian. And Christianity is not American. They brought it over here with them because they discovered it from those that were practicing it, whether they were taken slaves by these people themselves and escaped, or whether they were the ones taking slaves and it was taught to them by their slaves, or however that happened. For example, you know, people like Martin Luther came here and proved that, all the Protestant, people that left the Catholic Church and come over here and proved that the Catholics were wrong about the Bible. They were using Greek mythology to lie about the Bible. It's not Greek mythology, it is the Word of God. And people over here in America don't know how to separate Catholicism from Christianity. Just like they don't know how to separate, black oppression from slavery, because like Candace Owens said, the people that were slaves were better people than the black people today. They worked hard. They were inventors of great things. They built cities, my God. A lot of things that go in your mouth today. Peanut butter, the light bulb, the lights on in your house was done by black folks during the slave era. They didn't spend all day crying about slavery while they were going through real slavery. Like Hannah said, you weren't there. But yet it bothers you more than it bothered them that were actually going through it. They were still having functional families and inventing things and making money that got them out of slavery before slavery was released. Okay, before slavery was abolished, ended. But us today, we as we go, this is 2023, 2024, slavery will bother us even more. In 2025, slavery will bother us even more. And the more interracial relationships, more interracial babies, the more love between blacks and whites and other races, we will always be. We will always be as time goes on. By the time Jesus come back, we will put ourselves back in slavery, real slavery. We will really, really, really be oppressed by it. And I think it is. How does that happen? If you think that you're oppressed, how do you get out of oppression? Do you just kill everybody that ain't black? Okay. If you kill all the white folks, what are you going to do about the black folks that oppress you? And they do. Those of you that live in black neighborhoods and work around enough black people, that black people oppress you. So what are you going to do? You're going to start off with the whites first and then work your way down to blacks? I'm trying to get in your head and see where your head is at. Stop hating white people and embrace them. That's how you overcome oppression. Before this turns into 60 minutes, God bless you. Thank you. I'm D-Roy Cruz. Hope this helps. Let me know. Leave a comment. I would like to get more subscribers, even though I don't really care. But it'd be nice to get more subscribers and more comments on my channels. God bless you.